When we lived at Wrights Farm, wash day was an all-day occasion because water had to be pumped from the well. We had no running water. So, to start with, my husband had to pump a lot of water to fill the copper in the corner of the scullery. The copper was a small brick-built piece of work with a copper pan inside it, and there was a fireplace built in underneath it. So the copper had to be filled with water and the fire lit underneath to heat it. And when the water was getting warm enough, soap powder was added to it to make a nice frothy sort of mixture for the washing. And washing was usually on a Monday, depending entirely on the weather, because it all had to be dried outside. First of all, as soon as the water in the copper had got really hot, the sheets went in first because they were white cotton. So while they were heating, I fixed my very small mangle onto a table in the scullery. And when I thought they were washed, I had a large pair of wooden tongs, and I had a small zinc bath which I put under the copper, at the front of the copper, and I had to haul the sheets out with the wooden tongs into this small zinc bath, which I then had to move over to the mangle and put them through the mangle, and that had to be done a few times after that with rinsing water before they were ready to hang outside. And in the meantime, there was a load of towels which were merrily washing away in the copper. So I had to take the sheets outside with lots of pegs, and I had ropes from tree to tree in the garden where I had to peg the sheets to dry. Then I went inside and I went through the same process with the towels, and when they were rinsed and ready to go out, then probably clothing, things like that, went in the wash as it was getting more towards warm than really hot. And out I went again with towels in this small bin, and I had to peg the towels on another line in the garden with pegs. And then I came back into the scullery, went through the same process with the last lot of washing, mostly clothing, things like that. And of course, to rinse them, I had 3 buckets of water, which my husband had left, apart from filling the copper. And that didn't last long for rinsing everything. So in between, I had to go into the garden to the well where I could pump water and fill the buckets with water again and carry them into the scullery down some steps. So it was really very hard work, mostly carrying the water because it was very heavy, and to carry fairly wet sheets out into the garden and hold them and peg them up, that was also quite hard work as well. So you can imagine it had to be a good drying day, because if they didn't dry outside, I was in a pickle as to what to do with them when I had to bring them in.